Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video program. Friends, today we will discuss one of the very interesting and important topic that is using teaching learning resources in teaching of social science. Friends, you see, for making teaching learning process interesting and permanent, as a teacher, you might be using many resources. Okay, so far as in the context of social science teaching is concerned, so today we'll discuss what are the different teaching learning resources that we can use, and what is the need of using these teaching learning resources, and at the same time we will also discuss that how you can use these resources. You see, now we are practicing the constructivist approach of teaching learning process. We are using the learner's experience. We are connecting the learner's life experience with the teaching learning process, with our curriculum, with the content. Okay, so we are using the learner, we are using the learner's experience as one of the resource. So here, by discussing this topic using teaching learning resources in social science, we will be discussing that how to make your teaching learning process, your teaching personality learner centered and as per the need, interest and abilities and experience of the learners. So friends, first we will discuss that what are the learning resources, what are the different learning resources that we can use as a teacher, we can use in social science teaching. So friends, I can say that in social science teaching we use different objects and different materials. Okay, we use stone, we use iron, we use you can say coin, we use other types of materials also, terracotta. Okay, so it depends upon the nature of the topic that for teaching that topic what objects and what materials that you can use. So first of all, we use certain objects and certain materials. Then you see, for teaching social science, we also use the people. So here people means those have vast experience in the area of history, in the area of political science. Okay, we use the statesmen, we use, you can say, the intellectuals, those have experienced at the same time, those have done certain wonderful work in the field of social science. Okay, maybe in political science, in economics. So many a time we also use the people as the resource person. Okay, so then next we can say that we also use certain instructional aids, maybe in a form of chart, in a form of globe, in a form of you can say a map. Okay, so many instructional aids, models, project models, that also we can use. So instructional aids we can use as learning resources in social science. Then friends, we also use certain instructional media. Okay, it may be certain online media, it may be an audio program, it may be a video program. Okay, so the audio video materials, and at the same time the print media we use, and the electronics media we use, internet we use, and the nowadays we are using the online media also. So friends, instructional media also we use as a resource in the process of teaching, in the teaching learning process of social science. Apart from this, we also use certain common learning resources which is available within our reach, which is available in our school surrounding, in our school, in our immediate environment where we live. Okay, and certain important places, many a time when you are teaching history, when you are teaching the other subject of social science, we also use certain important places, because the places, the selected places are having certain historical importance, having certain political importance, okay, cultural importance. So we use certain places as learning resources. We take the students to those places. So friends, these are the certain learning resources broadly learning resources that we use in teaching social science. Now we'll discuss that what are the need of using these learning resources in teaching social science. So first of all, you see the learning resources that gives us a real experience. Okay, though we are not able to go to the real place, or we cannot take ourselves back to history. Okay, which has done earlier. We cannot we cannot go to the past time. But you see, when we are using the things, maybe in forms of certain objects, maybe in forms of certain materials, so we feel certain real experience, as if we are dealing certain issues when it was happened earlier. Okay, so that's why when we use the learning resources, it gives us certain a feeling of certain real experience. Then we can say we can make the teaching learning process more effective. If I will ask you whether you remember all your teachers who have taught you in a time, maybe in your school education, maybe in your college education, I don't think that you will be in a position to tell names of all the teachers. Okay, but definitely you can say the name of many teachers. Those have taught you in a very interesting way, in a very meaningful way, and the knowledge, the information, and the experiences that you have received from them, that is a type of permanent. Okay, so that is already in your permanent memory. So that's why when the teacher use different learning resources, then definitely they can make teaching learning process very effective, and that can influence the learning of the students, the learning of the learners. Then you can say by using the learning resources, you can make or the students can make their learning process. You can say they can learn at their own pace, because you see, let you have instructed that certain things are in the internet. So what they can do in their own pace, in their own time, they can go through the website, they can go through the sites, and they can learn certain things. So that's why the use of learning resources that also make the learners to learn in their own pace, own time. Then you can say by using the learning resources in teaching social science, the instructional objectives that you have selected, or that you have formed to teach for planning a lesson, then easily you can achieve the learning objectives or the instructional objectives. Because if you make your teaching learning process interesting and meaningful, then you can say that after the completion of the teaching, you can achieve the instructional objectives. So the learning resources that can help to achieve the instructional objectives, the learning objectives. Then by using the learning resources, as a teacher, you will be in a position to provide accurate information to the students, accurate information to the learners, and you can make teaching learning process, you can say, very objective. Okay, not subjective, very objective. You can give certain good examples, certain effective examples, certain meaningful example with using certain learning materials, using certain learning resources. Then you can say by using the learning resources, you can use the multiple sense organ of the students. Okay, you see what they are doing many a time. If I are teaching only the lecture method without using any learning resources, then what happens? They will they will listen the things. Then after after some time, after some hours, they will forget it. But if you will use varieties of learning resources to teach your topic, to if you have planned your topic in a proper way and you are using the learning resources, then definitely you will find that the students are using their sense organs. Okay, so they are touching the things, they are experiencing it. Okay, they are explaining the things, at the same time they are observing it. Okay, so they are using the multiple sense organs when you are using certain learning resources, and they are making their learning process permanent. So friends, next we will discuss that what are the different types of learning resources that we use, especially in the teaching of social science. You see, we are discussing about certain objects, certain materials. So you can use certain realia, or that's called as the coins. You can use certain coins. Just to remember your school days, your teacher might be used at that time certain coins, which was the coin of, you can say, maybe that was during the British time. Okay, so maybe after independence. So you see, 1 paisa coin, 2 paisa coin, 5 paisa coin, 10 paisa coin. We have also seen it. We have also observed it in our school days, in our childhood days. So many a time you will find that the coins that has been used in different times can be used as one of the learning resources. Okay, so that will give a type of feeling, that will give a type of experience, a direct experience to the learner to understand different social topic in a very meaningful way, and that may be in their permanent memory also. And many a time you can also use, you can prepare and you can use the 3D materials or the 3D objects, just like the diorama. Okay, let you are making a cave. Okay, a cave you can make it in a figure, you can make it in a graph, and you can also make it in a 3D model. So if you use such sense, and if you use such materials, then the students will get a direct feeling, a direct experience, that what is the shape, size, and you can say look of a cave. If you are making a 3D model, that also you can use. And friends, for teaching history or for teaching political science, okay, and for teaching sociology even, you are using, and for teaching geography you are using maps and globes. Okay, for teaching the country, for you are using a global map, you are using a world map, you are using a political map of a country, political map of India, or political map of any other country. Okay, you are using a globe also. So you see, to teach history, to teach political science, or to teach geography, you are using the globe and map to locate a certain place, to locate a certain state, to locate a certain country, to locate an ocean. Okay, to locate a continent. So definitely you use the map and globe. At the same time, you also use the map and globe to know, you can say, different physical form of this world. Okay, the agricultural land, at the same time the mountains, the plain, okay, the water bodies. So you are using the map and globes in teaching social science. Then next, you see, we also use different types of model. Okay, in our teaching social science. Okay, maybe in any subject of social science we use model. You remember your school days, your teacher might be use certain model to teach you different topic in social science. Friends, you can use two types of model. You can use a static model, and you can also use a working model. A static model is, you can prepare that static model, you can say, in a figure, in a chart, you can say. Just like, let you are teaching to the students, to the primary students, to the elementary school students, social science, that how to use the ATM machine. So you can teach this topic, how to use the ATM machine, by lecture. You can just say that what the students will do, what the learners will do. Okay, they will use the ATM card, and they will go to an ATM machine, they will insert the card, then as per the instruction come on the screen, they will follow that instruction. Okay, and accordingly they can use the ATM. But at the same time, by using a static model also, you can teach your students how they will use the ATM machine. Okay, so here you can prepare a chart that this is the ATM machine. From that ATM machine, what are the different works can be done, and what are the different steps. So mentioning different steps step by step. So what first you will do, you have to insert the card, then after you have to select the language. Okay, so after the language, then you have to put certain options will come, whether you want to withdraw money or you want to do other work. Okay, other types of applications will come, then you have to select it. Okay, so then after you have to put your secret pin code, so that also one step. Then after putting the pin code, before the entering the pin code, then you have to put the amount, then pin code. Okay, so then you will get the money. So friends, you see, I'm just telling the different step of using the ATM machine. Okay, so that also you can show it in a static model. Then you can also use a type of working model. Okay, working model means which is functional. Okay, let you are presenting in a conference, or you are presenting in a workshop. You have prepared a working model of solar system. You have prepared a working model of gobar gas plant, means that is by using the cow dung, means how electricity is generated from the cow dung. So you can also make a working model, means how electricity is generated, that also you can do. Okay, so friends, by using either static model or working model, you can use this model as the learning resources, and you can make your teaching learning process more interesting, more permanent for the students. Then friends, next you can use the charts and graphs. So many a time you use the flow chart. Okay, flow chart. You see, for showing a dynasty, for showing a civilization. Okay, for showing you can say the chronology of state administration, the chronology of a country administration. You can show it in a flow chart. Okay, to you can say present the administrative system. Okay, the union government, the state government, panchayat raj system, you can show it in a flow chart. Okay, so you are doing it by lecture method, you are teaching the students, at the same time you can also express it, you can also present it in a flow chart. Then friends, you can also use a pie chart. Okay, so let me to give one example. Let the crop production in a country, means different crop production in a country in a year. Okay, so that you can show in a pie graph, in a pie chart, just like the tons of production of rice, the tons of production of maize, sugar cane, banana. Okay, then groundnut, then you can say cotton, then others agricultural product. So taking in consideration of the nature of agricultural products, so you can make a pie chart. Okay, a pie graph. So in a pie graph, by putting different colors, you can show that the quintals of, or the tons of crops production, different crop production in a country in a year, that also you can use. Then you can also use the cartoons. In social science teaching, you can also different cartoons. It may be a political cartoon, it may be a social cartoon also. Many a time in newspaper and other media, you might be watching, you might have observed that basing upon the present political system, basing upon the present social system, basing upon the the contemporary system, means the other issues, other global issues. Okay, so you see, every day you are getting certain cartoons that comes in different media. So friends, as a teacher, you can also use these cartoons in the teaching learning process. Next, we can use the photographs and the artifacts also. You see, many a time you will find very good photographs which is available in the newspaper. You can use those photographs for teaching learning, for making social science teaching learning process very interesting. You can see it in NCERT textbook, that you will find certain photographs, certain cartoons that has given in the content, and that has explained, that is that gives a very definite meaning. Then you can use certain artifacts also. We are talking about the objects, okay, materials. So you can use certain stone related artifact, certain iron related metal artifact. Okay, so that can make the teaching learning process more interesting. Friends, next you can also use timeline. Okay, to show the civilization, and different important aspects of a civilization. Okay, you can use a timeline, means the things that has been taken place, that has been happened in a particular time, 100 years back, 200 years back. Okay, let during the time of Akbar, during the time of you can say other dynasty, that what are the important things has been happened. Okay, different types, different wars also, for showing the time of the things happened, of the incident happened in history. You can use a timeline. Then you can also use the textbooks and the reference books. This is also a type of your resource material that also you can use to teach your students. So textbook is a very common resources, but at the same time you can also use certain reference books also related to the content. Then friends, you can also use the newspaper clippings. So if you go to the museum, and if you go to public information center, you will find that the newspaper, the very old newspaper, that is also available. Okay, during independence, you see what are the different things, what are the different news was coming in the newspaper. You can today also you can get all this. That also you can use in your in teaching social science. So this you can also use as learning resources. Then next you can take the students to different museum. Okay, so they will get a direct experience, they will come contact with different objects, different materials, okay, which is preserved in the museum, that can be used as learning resources for teaching social science. Then friends, nowadays we are using certain educational movie also. Okay, in the school we are providing certain small educational movies to the students. So by watching the movie, they also get certain knowledge, certain information. Then we also use internet. Nowadays it is very popular, use internet. We use Wikipedia for understanding a concept, if the concept is related to social science. We use encyclopedias, different encyclopedias. We use you can say the info TV channels, like you can say, to get the information like Animal Planet, Discovery, other geographical channel, that also you can use. You can also use the government website, just like the Incredible India. Okay, the website of, this is the government website. You will find certain cultural information, at the same time different important places. Okay, the importance of different places, that also you will get. About our custom, our traditions. Okay, so in that website, from different website, you will also get many information. You can also use the MOOCs, massive open online courses. Okay, highly we are using nowadays. Then open educational resources also for teaching social science. You can get ample resources by using the open educational resources. Friends, with using all these learning resources, you can also use the other teaching learning resources in social science, just like you can use teacher as a best resource. So I always appreciate that teacher is a best resource. You will find many knowledge, many information, experience when you are dealing a teacher, when you are interacting a teacher. Then student, in a constructivist classroom, student is also you can say use as a learning resource. You will get many experience from the students. You can also use the community. You can also use family as a resource. So friends, community members, family members, student themselves, at the same time the teacher, they can also use as a learning resource to teach social science. So friends, today we discuss about the use of teaching learning resources for making teaching learning a process in the subject of social science interesting and meaningful. In our next program, we will discuss certain other topics and other aspects of education. Thank you.